Everybody Hates Chris. This was a comedy series that began in 2005. Many of you may have tuned into it. The gist of it goes something like this. Inspired by his childhood experiences, comedian Chris Rock narrates this hilarious, touching story of a teenager growing up as the eldest of three children in Brooklyn during the 1980s. Everybody hates Chris. Maybe there are times when you feel everybody hates you. Well, maybe not exactly hates you, but people who kind of at least look down upon you. You're kind of regarded as unenlightened, uninformed, kind of dismissible. Maybe it is some kind of political position you hold. You're very pro-life. And others just think this is a very unenlightened position to hold, so you're kind of shunted off a little bit, put off by yourself. Not a very popular position among some people. Maybe you take a strong moral stance. And once again, you kind of feel that you have been pushed off onto the periphery. You feel that the government policy of separating children and families is not the right policy to pursue. This is all open for discussion. Maybe there are many who support the government policy. There you find yourself once again, uninformed, unenlightened. Could anyone think that way? And maybe you take a view of people who are of different color or who part of the LGBTQ community. God them as just as equal as anybody else, and you may find yourself assuming a very unpopular position. You're sort of out there on your own. A little bit like the lost sheep. But guess what? Someone's looking for you. The shepherd is out looking for you to bring you back into the fold where you belong. Of course, the shepherd is the Lord, who sees you not as a political position or a moral stance or having opinions about how to look at others. In the eyes of the Lord, as in that shepherd, you're just you. And you are just fine. Sometimes we can forget that. Sometimes we feel like we are the sheep that is lost and no one is looking for us. Someone is looking for us. We are cherished and loved. And on this day that we do commemorate the passing from this life into the next of Kyle, I want to say that for all people who have preceded us in death, Kyle and others, their death is just as sacred, just as holy, just as embraced by God as any of the great saints. We are so blessed and lucky to have the Eucharist to celebrate today, where once again God says, I'm looking for you. I'm looking for you because you're just fine.